Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 141. The album that I'll be reviewing today is Jeru The Damaja's debut album, The Sunrises in the East, released in 1994. For those who don't know who Jeru The Damaja is, he's an MC from East New York, Brooklyn. East New York is like right next to Brownsville and stuff like that. Home of like, some dope MCs such as, AZ, Jeru The Damaja, that dude MC Outlook of Blase, Master Killer, people like that, so forth and so forth. Alright. Jeru The Damaja, he got his start back in the mid 80s, around like 86. He was just going around Brooklyn battling cats and doing like block parties and stuff like that. And then, that caught the attention of Guru and, DJ Premier. And fast forward to 1992, he ended up appearing on the Daily Operation album on the song I'm the Man. I believe he had the last verse of the song, because that song, it has like 3 different beats. I think the first beat, Guru raps over, then there's a little dap on the second beat, and then you have Jeru The Damaja on the last song, the last verse, and there's the different beat and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and because of that, that caused a lot of a lot of talking. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, who's this dude right here? So fast forward to 1993, he ended up coming out with Come Clean, his first single, and there is a video for that. I'll post it down in the description box. And then throughout '93, he started working on this album, and then he ended up coming with this album eventually, The Sunrises in the East. Alright? There's 3 singles of the album. The singles are Come Clean, The Original, and You Can't Stop the Prophet. Alright, those are the 3 singles. The production's done all by DJ Premier or Primo, you know what I mean? So that's what the album looks like, pretty cool. You see Jeru right there chilling. You see the World Trade Center or the Twin Towers on fire. I'm surprised they actually let him do that, because around that time, around '93, back then, some terrorists, it was, I think it was like Bill Clinton's first year in office is when he had some terrorists trying to bomb the World Trade Center, but they ended up killing themselves and stuff like that. So that didn't, that really didn't, it didn't work out and stuff like that until, what happened on 9/11. So I don't even need to get into that. But a cover like this, you couldn't even do today, you know what I mean? Just because of, you know what I mean? But that's what I liked about the 90s and the years before, because you have creative control. The artist had creative control at that time, and that's what I like. And I just like that whole fiery, that hell look, that really dark, spooky, fiery hell like sky. That shit just looks ill to me. Kind of sets the tone of the album. Yeah, that's what it looks like. The back, same thing. Pretty cool. I love that sky, like how that shit looks. Looks like mad ill. That's what the actual CD looks like. Right here. Okay. In the back, it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty cool. Dope cover too. You see like the Statue of Liberty in the water and stuff like that. Open it up. You see like the album track list and the credits and stuff like that. Here's the thank yous. And this is where you would write to like Jeru The Damaja, like to I guess like to get like a T-shirt or stuff like that, things like that. You just see right here. Alright. See Jeru The Damaja chilling right by the broken bridge right there. Pretty cool. Alright. You know how I get down, I'm going through some of the tracks. Alright. Track 1, intro, life. It's just an intro, just here like you have like a skit in the beginning, and then you hear like Jeru The Damaja just talking over, just talking about life and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, over a dope beat too. Track 2, The Original. This is the second single of the album. The Original. Love the video for that shit right there. Definitely one of my favorite songs of the album. Definitely one of my favorite Primo beats. There was a line where he said dirty, because I was dirty because of the skin I'm in. Just the fact that I have melanin automatically makes me a felon. I thought that right there is so deep because it's relevant. It pertains to today because you already know with police brutality and a whole bunch of other stuff, racism alive and brewing. Well, unfortunately, in hip hop in 2015, it's just so it just spoke out. It just spoke out to me. I could relate to that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure all my brothers could relate to that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But I thought that line when I've heard that, it kind of spoke to me. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool. The video is grimy, it's gritty. It's just so ill. You see him and his boys, going through the train station to the subway and shit like that. It just them walking around East New York, man. It's just, this is so ill. I love that shit right there. Track 3, Brooklyn Took It. I like how he actually got that line from from KRS-One off the song "The Bridge Is Over," where the line where he says Brooklyn keeps on taking it, so he kind of took that, flipped it. It just says Brooklyn took it. It's pretty much him bigging up Brooklyn. You know what I mean? It's just him bigging up Brooklyn and repping Brooklyn to the fullest. So if there was ever a list of songs that rep Brooklyn to the fullest, that song should definitely be on that. As far as hip hop, or even any song, what is an R&B track or a rock song or a pop song, anything that has to do with Brooklyn, that song should be on that list. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, that song, you listen to that, you feel like you're in Brooklyn. I mean, that's just how ill it is. Track 4, Perverted Monks in the House, is a skit. Love the beat over that shit. It's just him and his boys. I guess they call themselves the Perverted Monks. Just talking bullshit. Just talking like, yo, we in the house and that kind of stuff. All right, track 5, Mental and Stamina. It's not credited here on the back, but it actually features Afu-Ra. Afu-Ra, you guys should know him from his affiliation with Gangstar. He's part of the Gangstar Foundation. And a lot of people think that he's part of Wu-Tang. He's not. He's a Gangstar affiliate. I guess because of his first album and his obsession with martial arts. I have to do a review on his first album, Body of the Life Force. Very dope album. Definitely didn't get my hand. I have it, but I just gotta do a review on that. So someday I will. But this is pretty much his first appearance on Wax. It's kind of like a back and forth. Like I think both of them have 2 verses together. The song's kind of short, about 2 minutes and 21 seconds. So that was pretty cool right there. Track 6, The Bitches. Very controversial song, and he's pretty much talking about these gold digging bitches. Just talking about how bitches, these, not all women. I just want to put that out there, but he actually talks about how you got these chicks out there, that just go off for niggas for their money and shit like that. Whoever had the most status and stuff like that, that's who's gonna go over. That she's gonna go with that dude. You know what I mean? And it's so relatable, even to this day. Just. You wonder why. You just wonder how some women just go out with some certain guys. You know what I mean? And it's very relatable. But Fugees has something to say about that. Particularly Pras on the song Zealots off the Fugees second album, The Score, and the song Zealots. The last line where he said, "No matter who you damage, you're still a false prophet." So obviously he's talking about Jeru The Damaja and Pras. So Pras actually did respond to that on his second album, but you're gonna have to wait until I review the second album to actually talk about what he said and stuff like that. But I thought that was pretty interesting. That's pretty much what he says about the bitches. It's sort of about these gold digging chicks and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women at that time felt upset with that. But I understand what he was trying to say. But it is what it is. Track 7, You Can't Stop the Prophet. That's a pretty dope track. Very dope conceptual track. When you listen to the song, Jeru The Damaja, he plays himself as a he plays him as like a superhero pretty much. The video is dope too, and he pretty much talked about how ignorance is the evil villain. You know what I mean? Like how people out in the world today live in ignorance today. They just do what the fuck they want. They have no what's the word? Like, they just have no no manners. They just do what the fuck they want. You know what I mean? It's just like evil is just like reigning in this world and stuff like that. And that's what he pretty much talks about. And when you listen to it, you could kind of tell, like, you know, he's kind of talking a little bit about the Illuminati, but you know, you don't really hear that. Like, you would have to like really like listen to the track, and you can actually listen to that. And I thought that was actually pretty cool, man. That was a pretty dope concept right there, especially for 1993, 94. Track 8, Perverted Monks in the House. It's just the instrumental to the skit of track 4 of the instrumental. I love the beat to that shit. Like, it just kind of, you know, it just brings you to this whole different world and shit like that. I could listen to that joint all day. It's just so ill. Track 9, Ain't the Devil Happy. Pretty dope track right there. Kind of controversial because, you know, when you listen to it, you know, it's actually taught about, you know, the government, you know, it's just saying like how, or white people, let's keep it funky. You know, he talks about how, you know, he was talking about how, you know, like white people or the government just kind of want to keep black people down and stuff like that in the ghetto and stuff like that. But then we're kind of playing into that plan, like how we don't take care of our neighborhoods. You know, we kill each other, we sell each other drugs, we hoe ourselves out and stuff, like selling our asses and stuff like that. Now pretty much being part of the problem, and we're keeping the devil happy. And you gotta remember too, devil at that time, like, you know, the 5% nation, he's a 5%er. So devil, you know, and there's a big misconstruction with the word devil, because when people think of devil, you know, people think of white people. At that time, yes, but it changed over the time. Like, you know, even though they're still pro-black, but they said it themselves that that, you know, the devil is not taught about white people; it's just taught about people that do wrong. So it doesn't even have to be about white people. It can just be about, you know, people like the drug dealers in the hood, the pimps, corrupt police officers, corrupt politicians and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what he talks about that song, Ain't the Devil Happy. Pretty dope right there. And with that song, it's definitely prevalent to today. So definitely relevant to today. So next track, track 10, Mind Spray. Pretty dope track, just a braggadocious track, just him spitting that real shit. You know, just, you know, him just saying, oh, I'm the illest of the all time and stuff like that. Just him playing around with his lyrics. I really like that song a lot. Track 11, Come Clean, which was the first single. Oh, You Can't Stop the Prophet was the last single, was the third single. Oh, and the Pete Rock remix to that joint right there, oh my god, that beat is just out of this world. But anyways, getting back to track 11, Come Clean, his first single that came out in 93. Love that song. Classic hip-hop track right there. When you listen to that song, it automatically brings you to Brooklyn, especially around that time, like 93, 94. Like, the video's dope. It's a gangster track pretty much, you know what I mean? Like, when you listen to that, like, I can just envision East New York, Brownsville, just how it was back in the day, just how grimy, it was dangerous. You know, murder rates at that time was like out of this world, you know what I mean? It was not safe, you know what I mean? It's still not safe today, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But back in the 90s and 80s, yo, those places, oh my, it was scary to go to, you know what I mean? Even to this day, like when I go to Brownsville, East New York, I'm kind of leery. Like, you know, I go where I have to go, and that's it. You know, I don't try to chill, whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, Come Clean, yeah, very dope track. A classic Brooklyn track. When you listen to that, you just feel the dirt of Brooklyn. It's just so Brooklyn. Track 12, Jungle Music, one of my favorite tracks off the album. Love the beat for that shit. What I got from that, he's actually talking about the origins of black music, and like the you know, and the importance of black music, like the influence that it gives out to other people. And you know, there was a line where he says like how there's other people that would try to imitate it, but it comes out sloppy. That was like one of the lines that he said in the song. So in other words, people try to copy black music, but it doesn't sound good, you know what I mean? So let me change the song right there. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, love that joint right there. Anytime I hear that song, it just remind me of the summertime for some reason. It just has that summer vibe to it, but in a hard way. You just have cats just rocking, the the tens with their shorts and whatever t-shirt they're rocking and stuff like that. That's what it kind of brings you back to. And the last track of the album, Static, dope track. I just like how with that song, like how DJ Premier, like Primo, throughout the whole song, like it just has like that real staticky, it has like a real static. Like you just hear the static off the record, like that dirty ass record. I think he said in an interview he actually talks about that song where like I guess he was recording he was sampling the beat, whatever. Like he was making this beat and he tried cleaning it and like it just wouldn't come out. So he just kind of like just played around with it and it's just like how it sounded. It just had that really dirty sound, and that's how that song came about. And the same thing with the song Question Remains, where he talks about, I guess he was moving. I guess this was back when he was living in Texas at the time, and because he was in a pickup truck or whatever, and the rain actually damaged mad records and stuff like that. So it was one of the sample. I can't give out the sample, but I'm pretty sure you guys know the sample when you listen to it. But he tried cleaning it up. It got damaged in the rain. Like he got water damage. Like the paper was stuck into the record. He tried cleaning it up, but the way it was so damaged, like he had to chop certain parts of the sample, and that's how that song came about. And I was the same thing with the song Static. You know what I mean? So and that's pretty much it, man. Overall, classic hip hop album right here. It's finally getting mentioned. I've noticed a lot of people mention it before, now, because before a lot of people really talk about this album unless you're a real hip hop head. But I've kind of noticed nowadays like 90s hip hop is a trend now, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing too, because when things get too trendy, gets oversaturated, you already know how that gets down. But a lot of people, this album definitely has a cult following. You know what I mean? If you guys you miss old New York, and you just want to hear how old New York used to be, this is one of the perfect albums to pick up and listen to. It just kind of brings you back to the early 90s hip hop, early 90s in New York, where when New York was New York is what I'm trying to say, man. I mean, this album is just so dirty and grimy and so Brooklyn. That's pretty much it. I have no complaints for the album. I love how the album was mixed. It has like a really dirty sound, and it's just, I love it, man. And it's unfortunate that Primo right now, his stuff right now is too clean for my taste. He just doesn't capture that same essence. You know what I mean? This is actually, like, this time around 92 to 96 is actually my favorite time of DJ Premier or Primo, because his sound at that time was just so dirty and grimy and warm, and I just feel like he doesn't capture that sound anymore, and it's unfortunate. But that's pretty much it, man. No complaints about this album. If you could find it, definitely pick it up. You know what I mean? This is definitely a classic album. Highly recommend it. If you're not a fan of hip hop, you should definitely own this joint right here. Definitely rebellious music, but conscious at the same time. So that's pretty much it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for more. Alright, peace.